Can I take this depressing place and turn it into something awesome? With help from Twitch chat, yes! You might have seen my first attempt at a Godot game where I made a simple, single-level platformer. I had so much fun with it that I immediately needed to start another project. But this one is a little bit different, and it's definitely not something I can do alone. But before I get into that, thank you to everyone who offered such helpful advice and support on my last video. While I'm having a blast learning Godot, it's also really overwhelming at times. I really appreciate you. Now, are you ready? This new project is a small top-down something. I only have the first area available right now. Ideally, it will end up being 3 small biomes to explore. The goal of this is to learn how to handle environment scene switching, getting some NPCs in there, and learning how to program various interactions. I'm also hosting this on GitHub, which is really important because it allows people to see the work in progress. Specifically, it allows them to see what can be redeemed during my Twitch streams, which will then get turned into actual elements in the game. See a plot of land you like? You buy it with channel points and I build it. There were also character redeems, decorations, ideas, and the biome itself. I kept it really small because this is my first time doing something quite like this, and it might be me being a little bit self-conscious, but I was really worried that I would add a bunch of redeems and then no one would want them or do them, and I'd feel kind of bad about myself. But thankfully that wasn't the case at all. The redeems were gone way quicker than I expected, and the response from people seeing their ideas come to life has been so much fun. Let's see how this game is getting designed. The first building block of anything, identify your biome. Now, I've got a lot of creative people on my stream, but I never would have predicted how this would go. Biome redeem, requested by Aloha Craw. Theme, me. Not me as in me Clover. That was already done last game. Nope, this was a biome for and about the awesome Aloha Craw. I've known Craw for about 2 years now. We met back when he was streaming Flight Simulator and has a very friendly Hawaiian style theme. So I figured we're going to Hawaii on Craw Airlines. However, like some of his flights, we might have had a adventurous landing. I also added a purple crawfish claw since Craw uses a lot of purple in his design. This was actually really hard to come up with at first. Since it was a biome based on a person, I considered doing a human body at first. Like the player would be walking around inside of someone, but I figured that might look pretty gross. So I scrapped that and we're in Hawaii instead. I also discovered that one large background image is actually better than doing a tile set in this case. I was trying to figure out a good way to create pathways, so I figured I'd build a path by laying rocks over each other, but that turned out to be really hefty in Godot, so one large background, paint it up instead. But the world isn't done yet. We have buildings to make. I'm still figuring out the best way to handle different environment locations, i.e. going inside of buildings. So for now, we are just designing the outside. We have 8 buildings in total, 2 of which are still being worked on. Those will be coming later, along with the NPCs. Most of the buildings were completely open-ended. They could be absolutely anything. However, 2 had special requirements. I knew I wanted one related to food and also a shop of some kind. First off, the shop. The potato shop. Requested by 1A Potato C Gotato. This is a really special redeem since I already had a goal in mind. If I can figure out how to handle items in the game, this is where you'll buy them. Which leads to the challenge, what kind of potato items would be sold here? There are so many ways that a potato can be used. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. So to keep things open-ended, I figured this shop could be a bit like Tom Nook's from Animal Crossing, a one-stop shop for all item needs. For the design, this was inspired by those awesome farmers market tents. So that's the shop, but we also need a food place. Next up, we have Boiger, requested by MC Broccoli. I absolutely love 50s themed diners, so I was originally going to design it like that. But when I was sketching out, I drew this little burger and I realized I could just make the entire restaurant into a giant burger and it was too cool to pass up. So those are the 2 buildings that had special requirements. Everything else, sky is the limit. And what better way to reach for the sky than to have a radio? Welcome to GLMD, the Grilson radio station, requested by Grilson. This was definitely the most challenging building for me because radios are complicated. There are so many different kinds and they all have so many lines. They looked really gross when I was drawing them. It took me a while to figure out. Thankfully, Grilson has a great reference image and really solid direction for me to take with this. And then once we had the radio installed, it was time to relax. What better way to do that than go into a cozy cabin, specifically Smooth's cabin, requested by Mr. Smooth 320. This is a log cabin and needed to have all the cozy vibes I could fit in it. It's technically not 100% done. I still want to figure out a way to get smoke coming out of the chimney. I think I know what to do, just need to actually animate it and stick it in there. Maybe some coffee will help me focus on it. We're going to a rainbow-themed cat cafe, requested by Rainbow Cat Mom. The cafe itself is roughly inspired by cute little French cafes. Okay, pretty much the entire design revolves around those window overhangs. But the rainbow colors and cat sign is everything that I wanted. Rainbow Cat Mom has really cute designs herself, so I wanted to infuse a little bit of that. I'm hoping that I can add her actual cats into the cafe once we get to the interiors. And speaking of making things, we need a place to come together and be creative. That's where we need the Hobby Hut, requested by Mana BB. Ending our current building list with a wonderful idea and something I'd love to see in real life. This is a space where everyone can hang out and create stuff together. The building itself is kind of like a cottage, but there are little details related to a handful of hobbies, like the door is a guitar and the windows are painting easels. Mana BB is an amazing artist, so I had to include some art references. And with that, the current run of buildings is finished. There are still 2 that I'm in the process of making. Those are sketched in for now. One is a brain temple for Brain Globule, and then there's also going to be a neo-Gothic library for Potato. Those will be getting worked on while I do the next step, which is characters. I only have 5 NPCs right now because I still need to figure out how to program them. I didn't want to get overwhelmed with, 20 different characters. I have been using Dialogue Manager for the information pop-ups, so I'll probably keep using that for the actual dialogue. If you want to see how that goes, don't forget to subscribe, and if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to explore the game yourself, you can go check it out on GitHub. The link is down below. The next area is currently blocked off, but once that opens, more redeems will be available, and then maybe you could see something of your own in this little world. Thank you so much to everyone who has redeemed something so far. Your ideas are so freaking awesome, and it's been so much fun bringing them together. Also, if you thought that these ideas were cool, the people requesting them are even cooler, and many of them also stream, so be sure to go check them out. See you next time!